Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk.
No. Cut. Today we have a special episode as I am taking over the hosting duties to interview Valleska, our marketing manager at Propertia.
I guess I didn't expect to be sitting on this side.
Today we're gonna go through her journey, insights on real estate marketing, and what makes Propertia's content stand out in Bali's market. Let's start.
Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Valleska, your host for everything real estate in the Island of God. In this podcast, we'll have real talks with property experts that will give you all the insights you need. So, whether you're a property pro or just curious about the real estate in Bali, you're in for a ride.
So to start with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you end up in Bali?
I was living in Australia. I lived there for 2 years, and I would joke about Bali. Came to Bali a few times when I was living there. And then, I don't know, I kind of joked about living here and how amazing it would be to live here. Kind of a joke, but kind of a wishful thinking. And then I had an amazing opportunity to come here with a jewelry brand, but it was during COVID. That didn't work because obviously during COVID, nobody was buying jewelry at the time. And
how was COVID time in Bali? I cannot imagine.
I'm going to get backlash about this, but it was amazing. I mean, as a foreigner, it was amazing. I know that, of course, for the locals, it was really hard because Bali is an island that relies heavily on tourism. So it was a tough time for the locals. But as an expat, it was incredible. We had the island to ourselves. You literally, the community was really tight because we knew each other. Right now there's so many expats that it's impossible to know even if you know a lot or a lot of groups, but there's always new people that you don't know. But at the time I felt like everybody knew everybody because we weren't that many. And then obviously not everything was open, so you ended up going to the same places all the time, and it was a really nice experience. The island was empty, and you were riding on the streets and nobody was there, and then it was a really nice time as an expat. Again, locals didn't have fun at all.
And after that, how did you get into real estate or real estate marketing?
Well, I never really planned to get into real estate. It kind of happened after the jewelry brand. I started working as a producer in a production company. I come from production, so it was an easy transition. And I mean, I've always loved production, so I started working there, and then kind of went to, wanted to do something different, and I stumbled upon Propertia's ads that they were looking for a marketing manager. And I applied, and my mom's an architect, so real estate, and it's always been very present in my life. And we moved a lot, we renovated a lot of houses. So real estate, my mom can spend literally hours scrolling on
houses and properties and
exactly.
decoration.
And
I think all our moms do this.
I don't know. I find it when I had to find a house to live, but for me, it was so annoying and I hate it. But I love being in real estate, not on the other side of looking a house. But my mom could spend hours. So that was it's always been very present. So for me, working in marketing in a real estate company sounded fun. I even if it's really far from what I did, I come from fashion, so it was a bit scary to say, okay, I'm going into something that I kind of know because I felt like I knew, but also have absolutely no clue in terms of how it is to work in real estate.
And that transition, was it hard for you to merge your marketing knowledge from fashion or from other markets to real estate?
Yes. Fashion. I would say that fashion is a very precise. I mean, you have to get it right, right? There's no, it is very creative, but I was working for really big fashion magazine. I was working for Elle magazine, and everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be like to the dot. So that gave me a sense of perfection. Yeah, you schedule a shoot, and then like it's raining in Bali. We have like
Yeah,
rainy
especially
season.
this season, it's been
Yes.
awful.
It's been terrible. So that was really hard for me to navigate. Also, because the timing is completely different, right? So we in a magazine, you have a month to create the issue, and even if back then, like, I thought that those schedules were super tight, because I was like, oh my God, I need to finish this before like we close the month. But in real estate, it's like we need it for yesterday
Yeah.
morning. Yeah, that was also really hard, because that perfectionism that you have in fashion also comes with the fact that you have time to do it perfectly. So here I still like aim for perfection, and then I'm very happy if we get close to it, because I know that timings are completely different. I mean, we produce so many videos, and
Every week we have so many videos and content, and we want to do it well and fast and post everything on time.
yes, so that was, I would say that was the hardest part, to like say, okay, like, it's okay if it's not that perfect.
As a marketing manager, what would you say that it's the most exciting part of your role?
I love the fact that every day is different, even if it's the same job and we, do videos for houses. But yeah, every house is different, every property, like, we go all over the island, different areas. So you get to kind of like be creative. It's super important for me. I've always been a creative person. So never been very good at school, and I was always like, more in my head.
Creative mind.
Yes. So for me, it's super important to be creative and not get bored.
What do you do to keep that creative action all the time?
I mean,
Like, to be creative all the time and keep up with that standard.
I don't think I'm creative. I wish I was creative all the time. That's the challenge. No, I think that it's easy nowadays to get inspired, and you see something that's completely unrelated to real estate, but then you kind of think about how to tweak it into real estate. I was watching a series the other day, and I saw this amazing like scene and how it was filmed, and I thought, how could we put this into like a video for a villa, right? Because it's not always easy. You're like,
it's a complicated, it's a different world.
Getting that inspiration from everywhere, even if it's not real estate. And then also, we're surrounded by creative people.
Exactly.
I mean, all these guys, all the photographers, they are absolutely amazing at what they do, and they also get inspired. So they come up with ideas, and then we navigate how to apply that into real estate.
I feel so lucky with the team we have, because sometimes we have an idea and then suddenly you just say it and they come up with all the process to make it happen, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and sometimes they come up and say, I have an idea, it's in my head, and I don't know how to explain it to you. But it's going to be amazing.
And you're like, okay, just go for it.
Yeah, so it also is a little bit of trust in the team, and in the process, trust the process with them. But yeah, I think that's the best part of the job, to make it fun every day, make it fun, make it creative and different every day.
So that's of course the fun part of the story, but there's always another side, which would be the toughest part of your job that people don't realize usually.
The sun. No, I mean, yes, it is standing under the scorching hot sun in Bali. it sounds very nice when you're at the beach, but when you have to shoot a YouTube video for 2 hours and then you're sweating, that's a little bit less elegant. But no, I would say that the most challenging part, mostly to be in front of the camera. This is not my comfort zone. My comfort zone is on the other side. I've been on the other side for years. So being in front of the camera, it's really hard.
But I think you've shown that you have a natural talent for it. Even if you were used to be behind the camera, I think you do great and you are our role model here.
I would thank you. I wouldn't say it's natural talent. I would say that, first of all, I learned a lot from being behind it, I guess. And secondly, I think it's a lot thanks to these two guys that edit my videos and make it seem like I did it very naturally and very seamlessly. But I think they would tell you that it's not natural at all. And it took me 27 takes to to say that one sentence right.
Yeah.
But when you're touring a property and then you kind of get stuck, right? Because sometimes I don't know, it's hard. It's very hard to be in front of the camera. But it is also fun, and I get a lot of help from the team, and they direct, and then they probably know the script. I mean, you know my script better than I do.
I always remember. So you would say it's 50-50 editing and hosting?
I would say it's like 30-70. 70 for the editing, of course. The thing is, when I'm doing a YouTube, because it's a little bit different on social media, where it's more scripted because we have less time. But when I'm going into YouTube, I don't have a script. And I try to say it as I would show like my friend or, so that's sometimes it's nice, or I guess that it comes across as more natural. But then there's also like more room to mess up.
Yeah. To make mistakes.
Exactly.
And more takes.
Or to say something like the way you would literally say it to your friend, and it's not really how you would say it to a potential client. So yeah, I think that when it comes to YouTube tours, it's a little bit different, and it's definitely a lot of editing that comes in place to make me sound natural.
Yeah, and they do an amazing job. So everybody go watch our villa tours in YouTube.
Yes, it has a lot of hours into each of them. Like not only, preparing it, but also shooting and editing. We definitely
for sure it's a teamwork.
It is definitely. I wouldn't sound this smart and calm and natural if it weren't for Eric and Rahma that edit the videos for YouTube. So definitely teamwork. Very lucky to have these guys.
So as you mentioned, people love our content and our approach. I would say it's Propertia's personality. But there's also one more thing, it's Bali itself. Why do you think Bali is such an international brand and everybody loves Bali?
I think that from the beginning, right, Bali had a really good marketing by itself. They did an amazing job. I don't know if it was like the, tourism industry but Bali's always been Bali. Mm-hmm. I think that obviously the island itself is a beautiful island. You have beautiful landscapes. You have a lot of different landscapes as well. The people are amazing. They're so welcoming. You have really nice food. So it's the whole package. And then I think that there was like a lot of travel influencers that came to Bali and made Bali even more famous because they were living the dream. Mm-hmm. And then people wanted to copy that lifestyle, and they started to come here to get that same lifestyle, the beautiful villa with amazing views. Then you go to the beach and you have like this amazing lifestyle. So I think that a lot of that comes from the influencers and we live in a social media
area.
time era. So yeah, it's really hard to escape from
Mhm.
that snowball effect of, influencers going a place and then everyone wants to go. So I think that would Bali a success as
Yeah.
well.
So, what is your favorite area to live in Bali?
Favorite area? I live in an amazing area. I live right in the middle of Canggu. I love the convenience of my current house and my current location. I mean, I'm walking distance. In 10 minutes I can get to the beach, and I'm in the middle of like amazing restaurants. So I love where I live for that. If I could choose, also Paranan is. I don't know how to say it, guys. It's been 4 years that I live here, and I still say Paranan wrong. So forgive me. But yeah, it's an amazing area, an amazing neighborhood. As we all know, I think it got awarded with best neighborhood in Asia. So you have really nice cafes, restaurants, shop. The vibe is a little bit less hectic than in Canggu, but you still have everything. So Paranan was one of my favorites. And now recently I am going more and more towards Sese. So it's kept a little bit of that local vibe still, and you still have rice fields in view. So that's amazing. But it is developing. So it has like really nice cafes. So I would say like those three areas to live would be, my favorite.
Yeah. Going back to real estate market, what piece of advice would you give to a new investor or someone that is looking to invest in Bali?
Well, as we phrased in real estate goes, best time to invest was 5 years ago. Next best time is now. So I would say that right now it's really hot to invest in Bali. You still have good prices compared to other places in the world, and you get an amazing ROI in most places where we have projects at the moment. I mean, if you invest in Canggu or in Uluwatu, you're probably looking at getting your investment back in 5-6 years. Those areas have super high occupancy, especially Uluwatu right now, because the demand is still high compared to the supply. That's slowly changing, but it's you still get really good investments. So I would say that the time to act is now. So yeah, don't waste too much
Great
time
advice.
thinking about it.
Yeah, you're right. That's why so many investors are contacting us every day and they are investing in properties in Bali. Now, why would you think they should choose Propertia as their agency?
Because we're the best. No. I mean, honestly, there are so many real estate agencies in Bali, right? And you throw a rock and you get splashed with 10 at least. So the fact that there are a lot doesn't mean that they are all great. There's also, like, from our competitors, there's also really good agencies that are doing a pretty good job. So I wouldn't say that we're the only ones doing a great job. I think that in terms of marketing, we are definitely ahead. Why choose Propertia? I think that we have the right knowledge. We have a lot of years of experience. I mean, the founders are coming from real estate in Europe, and then sales manager as well has been in sales forever and has like great knowledge. So we have a team that has a lot of knowledge on property and on selling, and also in Bali, which is super important to have. And half of our sales team, more than half actually, is Indonesian. So they have a great knowledge of areas and of regulations. We have a legal team that can support the sales team, and of course, like, the marketing we're doing is really good. No.
But we are.
Not to, like how we say in Spanish, not to throw flowers at myself, but I don't know how you say that in English. But yeah, we do a really great job, or at least we try to do a really good job in marketing, which is obviously super important when you're trying to sell. We have most of our buyers have never been to Bali or have never, even after purchasing, they don't come to Bali. They're pure investors that just want their money placed somewhere, and they just like do it with us, and it goes really smoothly, really well. And
And some of them, they repeat like
100%. Yeah. So we have a lot of customers that do the process, see how easy it is, and then do it another 2 or 3 times, which is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I think that to answer it, to wrap it up, I think that we are the whole package as an agency. We have all the departments all together. We have expertise, and we have, dedication. So that would be
yeah.
the short
And
answer.
we're a people company. We've always said that. So.
Yes, we are, definitely. I mean, it's not only your degree or your background, it's also the personalities. I think that we are a people's company.
If you could live in any villa that is listed at Propertia's company, what would you choose and why? And which one, if you can?
And then I'm going to get calls from developers and whatnot because I didn't choose their property. Right. So.
Or if you want, you can say what style, what area, like what characteristics.
I mean, we've done, part of our job is to go and showcase the properties. So we've been to a lot of them. I love the ones that are a little bit different and that stand out. So most recent one that I was like, wow, was the Villa Kai. So the eco luxury. I think that we can link the video. But that was really nice because everything was done with a purpose, sort of. So the house had a history by itself, and that was great. So I would live there. Also, the location was insane. So if I were looking to invest and to have a property for like the weekend and then like as an investment or so, I would definitely go to somewhere in Bingin, Uluwatu. I love some of our projects. I don't know if it's because we've done a lot with them but Mayora or Las Casas, they have really nice concepts and it's super cozy. I think also that the developers put a lot of effort and a lot of, I would say, love, even if it's cheesy, but they pay attention to the details. So when you get to those properties, you can feel that everything was like thought of, right? So I like that. But yeah, we have too many. I don't know.
No, I want to ask you, what is a common mistake that you see agents or agencies in Bali?
I don't know. I mean, it's not really a mistake, but sometimes hopping on a trend can be tricky, and you have to kind of know how to do it. So some trends are not very real estate-y. So it's hard to put them into real estate. And then I see some people doing marketing with those trends, and it's kind of like tricky. From our side, we put a lot of effort into, even if I said that Bali is more laid back, but personally, maybe it's because of my perfectionism from fashion, but we always try to, I wouldn't say match to the dot the property, but at least the vibe of the property. So if it's like a laid back kind of property with this beachy tropical look, we kind of dress according to that. And if it's a more upscale property, then you're going to dress up a little bit, even if you're going to stay within the Bali level of style. But yeah, I think that some people don't necessarily pay attention to those details, and I think they're super important.
It really makes a difference and makes that the video looks nicer, the property, the host, everything stands out.
Yeah, it makes everything come together. Yeah.
But it's true that we take time to care about these things, about what we wear, what we're gonna say,
Yeah.
and the angles, like from all the perspective.
Exactly. So paying attention to those details. And also, I think one thing that stands out as well is the fact that we're all expats. For most of us, English is our second language or third. Sometimes you gotta pay extra attention to like the pronunciation of some words, or especially like areas. And I am
They laugh about us all the time. Like, if we don't say bingin or Prevenon or Brawa.
Exactly. So trying to kind of put, an extra effort into, first of all, saying like the areas properly.
But we still want to be professional and say it correctly,
Yes.
even if it's this laid back atmosphere that you mentioned. But
the amount of times that I've had to ask Google how to pronounce a word because I wasn't sure if it was like, but I wanted to. Usually I don't use a word that I don't know how to say, but sometimes I really want, it's either because I've used like the synonym of that word so many times that like I need to say something different. So.
We also struggle in that, like in
A
finding synonyms and different words to say the same or to describe the same.
If the guys are like, this is the third time that you said beautiful, and I'm like, sorry. You can beep that. But yeah, I think that the little details, I think that some agencies don't necessarily pay attention to those small details that make the difference. I would say the details.
So we've talked now about investors and potential buyers, but there's also the other side, the sellers. What does it take to get a villa sold fast or effectively?
Detachment. A lot of developers or homeowners, they put a lot of effort, energy, love into the project, right? I don't think that anybody goes into building a house without a little bit of love. Especially in Bali, you have to be super patient, and you have to really want to do it. So obviously, they themselves put a price kind of on that love they put into and on the time, which is fair enough. And, obviously that is also very valuable, and investors appreciate it, and that's why they pay for it, right? Like that's why they buy something that's already built so that they don't have the headaches, and they know that they're gonna pay a prime for that, but they're okay with that. But when it comes to selling, you have to be aware that there's so much that you can charge, so to speak, for that. You put a lot of effort, love, time into making something, and then for you, like, I wouldn't say the price, but the value is like up here. But the reality is that in the market, the price is not there. So I think that we struggle a lot with developers and homeowners to make them understand that. Guys, there is something that's called market price for a reason. It's what the market is ready to pay. And you can't just come and say like, oh, my villa is worth this much because I love it. Fair. And it's probably a really nice villa, but the land costs something, the materials cost something, and like your time, it costs so much.
Yeah, and at the end, the villa sits on the market for a long time. It loses momentum.
Exactly.
It's harder to market it.
Exactly. So if you don't enter with the right price, then, the sellers are always saying like, oh, but there's always time to like lower the price. But what happens is that if you enter with the wrong price, and then the house sits on the market for X amount of time, like weeks, months, and then you're like, oh, it's not selling. Maybe they were finally right. Like the amount of times that we've had people come and say, we want to list the property at this price. And we say, we don't think that is the correct price. And then they say, okay, then we'll list with somebody else. And then like 2-3 months later, they're like, oh, we need to like come back to the price that you told us. It happens
Yeah.
on a daily.
And then all the marketing efforts put, it's like they're gone.
They're gone. So we put a lot of effort into marketing. So if the house loses momentum and if it's sitting on the market for weeks or months, then what happens is that the people that are looking to invest and have seen this house and they're like, oh, this is overpriced. And then they see it on the market for so long and then they see that it's lowered its price. Then in their head, it lost value because it's like, oh, nobody wanted this. So then, like the original price that we set, so to speak, then it's not even there anymore because your house sat on the market for so long. So it's super important to detach and to be aware of those things. It's super easy. It's what did you pay for the land? What did you pay for construction? And then you have to have like your developer margin. But it cannot be 50% or 70% because then, then it's not worth it for the other side, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so sellers, trust us when it comes to price and sell your property according to the market. It's very important.
Definitely.
So in your podcast, you always ask what's your favorite coffee place and what's your favorite place, I would say, for brunch this time.
Okay. My favorite coffee place, I actually have two that I go all the time. I love Hanukkah coffee and it's like right by my house. So I go there a lot of times and the baristas are super nice and, so it's nice. What I love about a place is that when they know your order, that's my favorite thing in the world. No, but close enough. I love to go to a place and then they know what you order or what you want. So when I go there, I know that they know.
And how you want it.
And how I want it. And then second place, also right by my house, it's Blacklist Coffee. I love their coffee and they have also great breakfast options. So
can you tell everyone, all our audience, I want you to know what coffee specifically she asked when we go to
you tell them,
I don't remember. You can say it.
Okay, so I take an oat milk latte. I know it's not good for you. It's like your glucose spike is on the roof, but oat milk latte, extra hot, pitch blend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And what place for brunch do you like?
For brunch, I mean, it depends on... For brunch, it depends on my mood. But I would say Bokashi. I love to go there for brunch. I love their pancakes. They're freaking amazing. And also, Yuki has a bottomless brunch. So, yeah, that's very nice. But if you want them more fancy, I'm a big fan of hotel brunches, like buffet. So, yeah.
Thank you, Valleska, for passing the torch today on hosting and being on the other side.
It was a little hard.
And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any subject that you would like us to cover, leave it in the comments. Thank you and see you in the next one.
See ya.